All right, so
Wow.
we're recording. Yay. Okay, so here we go. So welcome to Google Sites. So this is going to be kind of a basic training of how to create a Google site, because I know some of your districts are wanting y'all to create those Google sites for your parents or for your students to access. So this is just going to be a basic overview of Google Sites and how to add things and locate things on your site. So once you get your site together, tweet out that learning so we can see it. We love seeing the items that y'all are creating throughout this summertime before school starts. So I'm Kelsey Amaya. I need to change that because I'm not a fifth grade teacher anymore. I'm actually going to be a literacy specialist in Klein ISD for Hostler Elementary. So I just got changed over to that position. So I'm really excited about that. There's my Twitter, my Instagram, and my YouTube channel if you are wanting to follow me. And my partner in crime, I'm still going to call her my partner in crime, Natalie Skavinsky. She is still going to be a fifth grade math, science, social studies teacher. And here is her stuff. So there's her Twitter, her Instagram, and her YouTube as well. Okay, so in the chat, we love this part. In the chat, will you tell us where you are viewing this presentation from so we can see where everyone's from? California, Alabama,
Florida, Virginia, more California. Oh, the big
Long
D.
Beach.
Spring, Texas. That's right, Tiffany. Klein, yay. Virginia, Ohio, East Meadow, New York. Nice.
Cool. Awesome. New York. My dad's from Long Island, so very cool. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this presentation. So I told you there was no real presentation. It's going to be all in Google Sites.
Hi, Kara.
Who's that?
I grew up with Kara.
Oh, okay.
Kara Carpenter from Black.
Oh, hey.
But I grew up with her. She was Bridwell back then.
Oh, okay. All right, so I want y'all to get to a new Google site, and you can just go in your Chrome and type in sites.new and click on that. And please make sure you mute your mic so that way everyone can hear. Okay. All right, so when you have your new site pop up, I'm just going to go over an overview of everything you're looking at right now. So up at the top, left-hand corner, this is where you can change your site name. So whatever you wanted your site name to be, if you want it to be your class site, or if you want it to be your portfolio, your digital portfolio, you can change this name to be anything you want. So I'm just going to name it Miss Amaya's class.
And guys, if you have any questions while she's going, she'll probably hit a lot of things. So maybe wait a little bit, but then if you have anything about what she's talking about, you can put them in the chat. And if I don't know, then at the end, I'll make sure to ask Kelsey and she'll show you the answer to the question.
Yeah. Okay, so I just changed this name, and it also changed down here. So it's going to change on your site as well as soon as you hit enter off of your title. So you've changed your title, and it's changed it on the site, because up here, this bar is not going to be shown when kids go into a Google site. Your page is going to be the only thing that is shown. So that's why they have to have it double right here. So don't freak out if there's double. It's just this is what's going to be shown on your site. You can also have you can undo yourself. You can redo the last action. There's a preview button up here. So you can click on this when you want to preview what your site's going to look like. And then you can preview of what it's going to look like on a tablet as well as on a phone. So you can see and make sure that your site looks good on all three of these options. And then when you want to get back to your actual site to play with, you'll just hit the X to stop your preview. And now you're on the editing part of your site. You can also hyperlink, or you can also copy your site's published link. But it's grayed out right now because I have not published my link or my site. So that is why the link is grayed out, because I have not published anything yet. You can also add people to be contributors to your site. So you can add people to actually be able to edit inside of your site as well. So that's the same thing as if you're adding somebody to a Google Doc, Google Slide, anything. It's the same little acronym up here where the share with others. Settings, there are a lot of settings. My personal favorite in the navigation, I like to have my side, my mode of bars on the side, I like to have them on the side and not on the top. So that way they'll be on the side right here instead of across the top. So that's just my personal preference. And then you can also change the color to be either white. So see how this changed to white over here? Or you can change it to black. It just depends on what your preference is. Or you can have it transparent with no color. You can also add brand images to your site. So if you had a brand image on your computer, or you find one on Google, maybe of your mascot for your school, you can actually download that to your site by using this upload right here and selecting it to be able to pop up right here by your name. So that's what the logo is. Viewers tools, you can change these so you can actually have the page last updated every time. You can show a contact information. Most of these things in settings are just what you want. It's personalized to you, but that's what viewers tool is. Analytics, you can enable analytics. Some districts do not allow you to have analytics turned on. Our district does not. So our analytics is off, but if your district allows you to have analytics on, you can actually track who has come and how many people have gone into your site. So that's what analytics is. Announcement banner. So say you have something that's really, really important that you want to pop up right as soon as students or parents log in. You can create an announcement banner where you can hit this show banner, and whatever your message is, or your button label or a link that you want people to have, these will show up as soon as they log into your site. So this is really good if you maybe have something coming up in this week that you want your parents to be able to know about. You can create an announcement banner where it actually pops up as soon as somebody logs into your Google site. Okay? So that's all of the setting tools. These three little dots over here, you can see the version history, so you can see all of the history of when you've changed things on your Google site. You can duplicate your site. So say you had another teacher that wanted your exact same layout of your site, you can actually duplicate it. And these are just things that if you need more help with creating Google sites, you can click on those to help you.
Hey, Kelsey, was there something in there that was a button label?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
What is a button label?
So a button label is where it pops up, and it's like it's kind of like a hyperlink, but it's more of like it'll just pop up and be like a little button at the top corner. It won't be across like a message of an announcement. I never use button label. I usually just use the message for your announcement bar, because it's more for like if you have questions or want your parents to know something really important. I would just go for this message part of the announcement. Yep. Okay, and then when you're ready to publish, you can click on this publish, and it's going to actually ask you to put in your own web address. So it's going to use the name of the site that you chose, but you can change it to be anything. Now, sometimes your site name for your web address might be taken, so you might have to keep trying a different web address. But once you get one, this would be the site link for your Google sites right there. Okay. And you can also change who has access to your site. So you can change that anybody can have it, only people in your district, or it's restricted to people that you give the link to. And then you would just hit publish. And now this site is published for everybody to see. Now you notice how when I clicked publish, this copy publish link now appears. So I can copy that now, and here is my site link that now I can send and hyperlink and all of that to Schoology. So this will not pop up until you hit publish. Now, if you're working on your site after you hit publish, say you wanted to add something new to your site, you have to make sure you hit publish before you exit out. Because if you exit out, it's going to save your stuff. So it's going to save everything you do. but your parents will not be able to see the changes until you hit publish. Because once you hit publish, it's published on this link. But until you hit publish for your changes, you're going to be the only one that sees it and your parents will not. So you could be adding things onto your page and not hit publish and parents won't see it. But once you hit that publish, your parents will be able to see it. So just be mindful of that, that every time you change something and you want parents or kids to see it, you've got to hit that publish blue bar or blue button at the top right-hand corner so that it is able to be seen by others. There's also, once you hit publish, there's also a little drop-down bar that pops up. This is where you can change the different settings and review changes. This is just dependent on what you want as a creator. So this is just based on what you want for your site. So that way you don't have like you're not publishing stuff and you don't know that you're publishing it. This is just a way to choose your publishing settings before you publish. Okay. All right, please mute your mic so that way everyone can hear. All right, so now we're going to look at all of the stuff that pops up on the right-hand side of your bar. So this is everything that you can do on your Google site. You can add in a text box. So if I click that, there's my text box that pops up. So if I type in my name or type in hello, you can change this to be a huge title. You can change it to be a heading, a subheading, a small little piece of your text box. You can even move the text box anywhere you want on this section. So you can just hold your mouse down and you can move it to be on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, right in the middle. It just depends on what you want. So you can move all of your text boxes around. You can even move anything around that you put onto your site. So that's text boxes. Now with the text box, once you add something to your site, when you hover over this text box, you'll be able to see right here where you can change the section background. So you can change it. They'll give you 3 different options. But say you wanted to add a background from something on Google, or you wanted to add a background of like a wallpaper that you have. It'll also allow you to add backgrounds from your computer. So you can download that image and actually upload it so that way you can have that image instead of just these 3 options for your background. Does that make sense? So you can add any images to your background. You just have to make sure they're on your computer to be uploaded. So that's what the background is. You can also duplicate any section. So you can duplicate it to be the same. And you can also delete as well all of your sections. For images, once you click on images, you can upload straight from your computer. So say I had this one right here where it says create memories. I can click that, double click it. There is my image on my screen. You can also add images straight from Google. So you can add straight from your Google Drive. So if you have something in your Google Photos or on your Google Drive you wanted to add as an image, like your Bitmoji classrooms for say, you can go to your Google Drive and you can actually add in anything that you have for your Bitmoji. So if I wanted to find my Bitmoji classroom, I can add in just my picture. Where's my Bitmoji classroom? Maybe not. But you can add in anything from your Google site or from your Google Drive to your Google site as an image, okay? You can also embed. So this is what we were talking about with Schoology, so embedding. So you can actually embed by the URL or by the embed code. So if you had a presentation, so say I wanted to have, let me get my presentation up. Say I wanted to have, say I wanted to embed my classroom book a day, because in my class we do classroom book a day. If it's going to pop up, there it is. So say I wanted to embed this for my students, so that way they see it in presentation mode of all the books we've read in class. So all I would have to do is the same way I do it in Schoology, you do it the same way in Google Site. You would just go to File, Publish to the Web. You would hit Publish, and you can get this embed code. And I'm going to copy that embed code and go back to my site, scoot over to embed code, and I can Control V and hit Next. And I can see what it looks like. Now you see how it's humungo, like it's ginormicus. I want to go back and actually change the code. So to change the size on a code, you see right here where it says width and height right there? You can change that to be anything you want. So I'm going to try 800 by 400. I'm going to see what that looks like. Okay, so you can change that code to be any kind that you want. And then I'm going to hit insert. Let's see what it looks like. And then I can just drag it to make it bigger, smaller, however I want. And there's my classroom book a day that my kids can actually be able to see and be able to have straight in my Google site. So you could do this with anything. Yes, Natalie.
Joni was asking, where did the background info come from? Can't see it. I'm not sure exactly what she's asking about.
Background info.
Background info.
Okay, so for like for if you're adding something in the background, you can change the background right here with it saying section background. It's like a little palette of colors. It looks like an artist. And you can change it to be anything you want. They give you 3 options, but you can upload any image as your background. So that's how you change the background of your sections in your slide or in your site.
Okay.
So this embedding can be done with Google Drive documents, so like docs. You can embed a website in here. You just have to get the embed code. So it can be done with anything that you can embed into your site, okay? Now you can also add straight from your Google Drive. So if I add something straight from my Google Drive, it'll pop up right there on my site. So if I wanted to add, say I wanted to add this literacy specialist one, I can double click on this and make it bigger. And it adds it straight from my Google Drive. So that's just another way to add in. Maybe you have like your class syllabus or you have your Meet the Teacher. You can add it straight from your drive without having to embed it. Embedding is more for if you have like websites you want to embed, or you have like a GIF or something that you want to add into your site. That's more for embedding. Just like we do in Schoology, you can embed things into your Google sites as well. Now you can also have all of these different layouts. So you can make your pages or your sections on your page different layouts by just clicking on one of them. And there it goes. It pops up with the layout you chose. You can add pictures by clicking on this plus sign. You can add anything like uploads from your Google Drive, from your computer, from images that you have. You can add anything, a YouTube video. You can add pretty much anything to your Google site. You can also edit the text and edit the subtext as well. And there's other options down here, like you can have collapsible text where once you're scrolling, what that means is when you're scrolling on your Google site, it'll actually collapse instead of staying the same way. So it'll collapse it to go down, so it's not like you're scrolling down hundreds of pages. It'll collapse it as you scroll. So that's what that means. You can add a table of contents. You can add an image carousel where it will rotate images on your page. You can add some buttons. Maybe you have your link to your Schoology course on a button. You can add a button and actually link it straight to your Schoology course right there. You can add a divider. You can add things from YouTube, anything from Google site or anything from Google Drive you can add. There's just so many possibilities with adding things to your Google site. Okay, so that's all of the things to insert. All right, so the next thing is pages. So if I click over on my page, this is where you can add pages and subpages as well. So to add a page, you'll just click on this plus sign and click add new page. You can title it whatever you want. So I'm just going to put page 1 and I'm going to hit done. So now there's my new page 1. And you notice when I added this page right here, these 3 lines, now it shows my sidebar with all of my pages. So there's my page 1. Now, say you had, say you had a team site. So say you created a 4th grade team site and you wanted to have a page with all of the teachers, but you didn't want to have all of the teachers being a different page. You wanted them to all be under one page. You can actually add in a subpage. So by doing that, you'll just, so if I title this teachers, and I wanted to add in my teachers to here, I would just click these 3 dots and click on add subpage. And I can title it Skabinski. And see how it's not really a page, but it's underneath teachers. So now when I go over to my bar over here, there we go. There's the teachers. If you click the down arrow, you can see Ms. Skabinski. So you can do that when you're adding things. Maybe you wanted to add all of your subjects, but you didn't want to have a whole page for each one. You wanted to make subpages. You can put subjects, and then you can have math, science, social studies, spelling, English, whatever. You can have all of your subjects underneath that one subject page. So to add a page, all you'll do is go to this plus sign, and you can add your page and then hit done. Now you can also just add a link. So if you wanted to add a Schoology link, so say I wanted to go and I wanted to add this Schoology course to my Google site. All I would do is I would copy this link, so Control C. I would go back to my site, and instead of hitting the new page, I would hit a new link. And I can link this right there, put the name Schoology course, and I can hit done. So now when it's clicked on, when we publish this, when it's clicked on, it won't go to a new page. It'll actually go to the link of Schoology. So that's a way to get your Schoology course into your Google site. Do you need me to do that again? Are we okay with that? Okay, so you can add pages or you can add links as well, okay? All right, so let me get out of this. All right, so the next thing is different themes. So you can have different themes for your Google site. So just depending on what you want for your site, you can add any themes to that. So there's multiple themes you can add. That are located in the theme section of Google Sites. So there's a simple, there's an Aristotle, diplomat version. There's all different colors you can choose. You can change the color. You can change the font style on here. It's just depending on what you want your site to look like. So that is the theme section of your sites. Now, if you've noticed on all of these pages, there's a big, ugly background. Sorry for being so frank, but it's pretty ugly. I'm not a fan of the backgrounds that pop up. And sometimes they just look, hold on, where is it? Sometimes they just look really ugly. Like they're not even super cute at all. So what you can do is for your site head, like for your page headers, you want it to look somewhat cute, right? So you can actually add and change images. So you can upload anything from your computer that you've downloaded. So say I wanted this Great Memories. You can download any image. You can download any color. You can reset it if you don't like it, because I really didn't like that. But what I'm going to show you on this site, we're going to put this in the chat. I'll put this in the chat right now so I don't forget. So this lady on this site, she actually gave all of the dimensions for each thing for a Google site. So I just shared it with you in the chat. She shows all the dimensions of everything that you would want. So for her homepage, she showed all the dimensions if you wanted your homepage to look like this. She showed all the pages. So she has all of the pages and all of the designs that you might want with the dimensions, it's all right here on this link that I showed you. So this is what she used, and she actually used Canva. So I don't know if you know about Canva, but canva.com, you can go and create designs and add them to your Google site. So let me show you how to do that. So if I am back on this website right here, and I wanted to make this, let's do a, since we were just talking about titles, I wanted to make this title header right here. I wanted to make that size. So what I would do is I would go to Canva, I would go to create a design, I would hit custom dimensions, and I'm going to just do it 21 by 8. So I'm going to change it to inches, and I'm going to do 21 by 8 and hit create new design. There is my design that I'm going to work on to make my header for my page 1 of my homepage of my sites. Now on Canva, there's tons of templates you can use, or you can just create from scratch. So for the time, I'm going to use this template. So all you're going to do is click on it. So now say you like the template, but you don't like the colors that are on there. Up at the top, if you click on your template, right here, there is a background color box. You can change it to any color that you want for your backgrounds. You can also change every single image on these templates to be the color you want. So once you click on this, see how all these colors pop up? You can click on any of these and change any of the parts of that template. So if I didn't like that orange leaf, I can go down here and change it to white. So you can go and take these templates and manipulate them however you want. I just love it because it lets you change every single option on these images, because these images are cute, but I don't like the color yellow. So I would like to change the color. So that's a way that you can do it. You can also change the font. So if I title it Miss Amaya's Class and I don't like this color, I can go up here just like in Google Docs and Google Sites, and I can change this color to be the color that I want. I can change the font, and there are thousands of fonts on Canva. Tons and tons and tons. You can even narrow it down to, like, if I wanted to have like a handwriting, I can type in handwriting and it'll pop up with all the handwriting ones and change it. Okay, so there's my Canva site, whatever. So you can change that to whatever you want to make it look super cute, or whatever you want to make your site look like. Then once you're finished, you can also add GIFs. There's more. So what you can do, sorry, we're getting kind of off topic, but this is going with Google Sites.
No, this is amazing. Like, people are excited. Like, this is amazing. So just letting you know.
Okay, so what you can do is on this bottom left of your toolbar, there's three dots. You'll click that. You'll scroll down just a little bit and hit the Jiffy right here. You'll click on that. And there's GIFs that you can download. So if I wanted to have maybe some glitter, because everyone loves glitter. See how these pop up? But I don't want pictures like that. I want the sticker. So I'm going to type glitter sticker. So now there's some glitter stickers that I might want to use. Now, I don't really like any of those, so I'm going to try to type an arrow. Maybe they have some cuter ones. There we go. Okay, so if I wanted to have like this one right here, this blue one, I just click on it, and there's my arrow pointing to Miss Amaya's class. Okay? So I think that looks pretty good. I'm done. I'm ready to download it to my site. So to download a GIF image to your site, you will go to this download bar right here. Well, actually, you'll just click on download. So you'll just click download. And instead of downloading it as a PNG or a JPEG, you'll download it as a GIF. And then hit download. And it's downloading. Slow and steady wins the race. There we go. Okay, so it'll pop up on my bar. I'm going to save it to my pictures in my computer. So I'm saving it to my pictures. And now I'm going to go back to my site that I was working on, change image, upload, and then I'm going to find my picture. There it is. Double click it. And there is my new background title page. I just deleted that. Now see how it's a little dark? You'll want to hit, see these 3 stars right here? You want to remove the background for like, it sets it that way because of people's eyes when they're looking at the computer, but I want it to be more bright. So you're just going to click it to adjust for readability and make sure there's an X out of it. And there's my site template that I have ready to go. Now, you remember when I told y'all about changing this? I don't like that green anymore. I want it to be transparent so you can see the top. So to do that, you will just go to these 3 dots, or the settings, I'm sorry, the settings. Click it. And I'm going to change it back to transparent. And I'm going to change my theme back to simple. So now there is my site homepage right there ready to go. Are there any questions in the chat, Natalie?
No, I'm just letting Margie know. She said, you said it popped up on your bar. Where is that bar?
Okay, yeah.
I'll just say it out loud. It's whenever you download something down at the bottom of your screen, it'll show a bar. It'll pop up. Sometimes it doesn't show your personal computer when it does that. It'll show that it downloaded, and you can open it from there. You can show it in a folder and change and switch it to a different folder, but it'll be in your downloaded folder, your download folder. So.
Now you could also on these headers right here, you can change the type. So you can change it to be super large, which I don't like that large. You can change it to just be the banner type, or you can change it to be just the title only where there's no type, but that's no fun. So I always like to stick with the banner because it's just simple, it's the right size, and it's just perfect for a site. Now I do want to show you how to create a button on your site. So like what she had down here, she had the buttons down here where they were able to be clickable to go to another page or a website. So I want to show you how to do those really, really quickly. So what you'll do is you'll go back to Canva, and Canva is free for educators. So you'll just have to use your educator account and you should be able to get all the things for free. Okay, so I'm going to go back to create a design. What was my size? 3 by 1.5. So I'm going to do create a design, custom dimensions, and I'm going to change it to inches. I'm going to say 3 by 1.5 and hit create. And so now it's like a little, you can make it even smaller if you wanted. You can do like a box, like a rectangle. It just depends on what you want. Now you can add any uploads. So remember I was talking about Hey Ashley G with all of the backgrounds. So I have backgrounds on here from her. So I might want to use one of these. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to download this background for my buttons. So I'm going to use this one as my site. I'm just going to make it bigger. Okay. You can add in elements as well. So you can add in any type of element. So maybe I wanted this little apple right here. Okay, then I'll add my text. You can choose to do it yourself, or you can have a template text. So it gives you different options for different texts. So I like this one. This one's cute. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to type in about, because I want my first page to be about Miss Amaya. There we go. I'm going to delete this one. There we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now the same thing, if you wanted to add GIFs, you would just go to the bottom and click on the GIF and add in your GIFs. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you how to download this to your site. So then all I'm going to do is click download, and it is going to be a PNG because there's no moving elements to this button, and I'm going to hit download. Now for these buttons, you do not have to save it to your computer, because you can just, once it's on your bar at the bottom, so let me delete these so you can see it. Once this, oh my gosh, I got so many pages. Here we go. All right. So once you have it, you see it at the bottom of my screen right here. All I have to do is hold it and move it up and plop it. Boom, done, it's on my page. So I'll do it again. You just have to hold it, move it, plop it. So now you're not having to take that time to save it to your files or your Google Drive. You can just move it and plop it. Now, once you have this button on there, this will pop up. And this is where you can add your link. So if I wanted to add in something, so say I wanted to add in this classroom book a day link, I would just copy this link and I would paste it and hit insert link, hit it and hit apply. So now let me hit publish so you can see what this looks like. Let me review my changes, hit publish. Okay, so if I go to my preview, there is my buttons with my class, and this is the one I hyperlinked, and you see how it's different from this one to this one? This one's hyperlinked. So I can click this one, and there's my classroom book a day right there that my kids can see. So that's just a way that you can have your Google site linked to your website, your Schoology course. You can link it to pretty much anything. You can also link it to pages in your site. So if you had your home page and you wanted them to click on the buttons in your home or on your site, you can actually link these to pages as well. So there's many options for sites with Schoology and linking it. The last thing I want to show y'all is how to link your site to Schoology, because we are going into that Schoology Schoology as our hub. So to do this, I'm going to go to my practice course. And there are multiple ways you can do this. You can link it as a button. So if you have a button on your home page of your Schoology course that just says my class website, you can link it just like you've linked it from other videos on my YouTube. You can link it like that. But you can also link it as a file or link by all you're doing is going back to your site and getting this link. And you're just going to hit copy link. And you'll go back to Schoology and go to add a link, and you can put your link in there and just say Miss Amaya's website and hit add. And so now kids can see this website right here. When they click it, they can see it right there from your Schoology. But yes, you can also link these to your buttons. So if I have my button template, I would link it just like I linked anything else. I would link it to this site, website, and then just add that to your Schoology course, and you would be done. You can also link these in your Bitmoji classrooms as well. So just think of your Google site as just another link that can be linked and embedded and done anything with, just like you do for your Bitmoji classrooms and all those other things. All right, Natalie, any questions?
So we were talking about like kind of the difference in using Schoology and sites. It's not really a question. And I was just basically saying it's your preference. You know, how do you want to use sites? How do you want to use Schoology? And I was just giving that personally what I'm doing. I'm not going to have my own site. I'm going to have a 5th grade team site where it has just information about the whole team that parents could go to do that. So I'm just going to link that into my Schoology. And then in my Schoology, it'll kind of be the stuff about me. But it's really your preference. You know, where do you want to put your stuff? Where do you want to manage it? Yeah. It's up to you. But you don't have to have it in both places and try and manage both. No. You know, kind of think about what's going to be preferential for you, for your students, for your parents to get the information that they need.
So I have a site that's with like all of my, like it's a digital portfolio. So that's how I use my site. I just started adding things for my digital portfolio, so that way I can keep everything in one place so people can come and they can see my website and see different things that I have on here. Natalie and I also created a site during the during like March to May. So let me see if I can find that so I can give y'all an example. So Natalie and I created a site for our parents as a one-stop shop because our parents were not able to log in to Schoology at the time because kids were in Schoology. So this was just a great way to keep parents engaged and understanding when our Zoom meetings were, when our office hours were. So these were just ways, we just created a site for both of us that we were able to send out in an email. We linked it to our signature of our email, so parents can just click on that and go. So let me see where
It's
it is.
on your website, like one of the sites that you made.
I think it's in, here it is. Okay, so this is the site that Natalie and I made for our kids. It was mostly for our parents.
Oh, you cut off. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
There you go.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the site we did. So on our homepage, we had two things linked. So just about the Zooms and when the Zooms were. And then we had on here, we had our at-home learning. We had all of our checklists linked into our sites based on what the kids needed to be doing for that week. We had our office hours on here so that kids knew exactly when they could call into a Zoom if they needed extra help. We had our Zoom meeting links up here, so that way it was able to be clicked on and ready to go for kids. And then we also did like a cute little Flat Stanley where we sent our Flat Stanley self to the kids where they could take pictures. So that's just what we did during that virtual time. There's just multiple options for Google Sites. It just depends on what your preference is, and you can link it straight to your Schoology as well. So.
Mm-hmm. So Suzette said that she tried to link the site to Schoology, but she got a sad face error. And I asked if she used the published link, and she said yes. So I'm
Okay,
not
when you're linking a site to Schoology, the reason it's giving you that is because when you're adding it to your Schoology course, you have to make sure it displays in a new window.
Okay.
So if I click this and display in Schoology, it'll give me probably that error. Now watch it not give me that error.
Because it's
There's
not
the error.
embedded. Yeah.
Yes. So you have to make sure that that paper, when you're linking something in Schoology, that paper on your editing tool is clicked off because you want it to be displayed in a new window. So now when it's clicked, it should go straight to that website. Any other questions, Natalie?
I was just letting Kathleen know that on the last example she showed us, did we update weekly or copy and make new buttons? No, we just updated what we had, added a new checklist every week. Distance learning is going to be a lot different now. That was basically, okay, what can we do to help our parents? Let's get this together. And it'll be different soon because our kids will actually have a schedule.
Yeah.
That was just basically a list of this is what you have to get done this week.
Yep.
Is what we did for like the emergency distance learning.
Yeah.
So people were asking about your classroom book a day and just kind of how you do it, or are you gonna still plan on doing that?
Yes, so in my new role of literacy specialist, I'm going to help out with the other teachers if they wanted to use Classroom Book a Day. What I do is every single day in my class, I read a new book, so a new picture book. And in that picture book, we were really good with it at the beginning of the year, from let's say August to December. And then once January hit and we were getting ready for our state test and all of that, we didn't have a lot of time to read a classroom book a day, but it was always their favorite time. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to actually add in images of the book, and then I'm going to link it to my read aloud. So I'm going to link it to myself reading it and being able to have them click on that and they can actually hear me read the book. So this is just something I'm going to do for my teachers, and then the teachers can put it on their Schoology page for kids to be able to listen to some books. It's just a great way because fifth graders, they sometimes don't get a lot of picture books. It's mostly chapter books. So allowing them to have those picture books a day, really, you can tie those picture books back to anything. And all teachers can do it of any subject.
Okay, Angela asked, can you review the easiest way for parents to access our info? Through Schoology, ? Will they go through dashboard, then click on Schoology, then find our website link there? So Angela, if you're in Klein, Klein has information on the website that shows the parents how to get to Schoology, how to get on StudentNet, go to their dashboard and get to Schoology.
Yeah.
So I would
It
definitely,
walks them through it.
yeah, and talk to your specialists about that too. They should know
Yeah.
where to get that kind of information, and your admins. And to get to your info, that's up to you. Where do you want to put it? Do you want to put it in? I mean, I'm going to put mine in Schoology because that's where my kids are going to be working for the most part. Do you want to make a site and link it to your Schoology? That's really up to you. A lot of stuff is preference.
And I would suggest linking if you do create a site, link it to your email signature. Because every time you send an email, you can link that in your email signature and be able to have parents access that every time you send an email. So that could be like a little hyperlink on your email signature, so that way they can click on that and go straight to your website.
All right. Any other questions, guys? That was awesome, Kelsey. I'm going to go back and work on our team.
Yeah, you got to go. Canva can be a whole nother training for sure, because there's so many things you can do with Canva. You just have to play around with it. And yeah.
For the book a day, do you video the book or just you reading it?
No, I put it under a document camera and I read the book and then I record myself while I'm reading it. So they're not seeing me, they're just seeing the pages of the book. And I'm also going to ask other teachers and maybe my administrators and the librarian to get in on it and record some books. So that way we have multiple people recording these for kids to see. Yep.
And people ask for the recording. And so I'm going to put in Kelsey's Linktree, her Linktree link or whatever, Linktree URL.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to post it right onto YouTube right as soon as we're finished.
Yes, so the recording will be on Linktree. Kathleen, I use Screencastify sometimes, but when you're using your document camera, we have document cameras that record. So it depends on what you have, but you can use Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, Loom is another one as well.
Now you could for the classroom book a day, you can always get a book on like Get Epic or one of those websites that has all of the books, and you can just record your screen with one of those options and just read your book and record it, and that way they're getting their classroom book if you don't have the option of recording it with a hover cam or your phone or something like that. Yep.
Are you able to post these chats too whenever you download stuff?
Like the chats to Zoom?
No, so this Zoom chat, like that we're chatting in as well.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't want anybody's first and last names on there. Yeah.
Klein does not have auto recording, Angela. We have document cameras that record, the ones at our school. I didn't personally know they did until the beginning of this past year.
Yeah.
And we discovered it. So look at your document camera that you have that's given to you, and see, kind of play around with it.
Yeah.
See if it might record.
All right. Well, if there's any more questions, just reach out to us. We can't wait to see all the sites that y'all create. And remember, your sites can be linked straight into Schoology. So this is, if your district is wanting y'all to create a site, it can definitely be linked into your Schoology course. Okay. All right. If there's no more questions.
Can you put the classroom book a day template?
Where?
I don't know.
I'll put it on my Linktree. I'll put it on my Linktree.
Okay, she'll put it on her Linktree. So here's the link to the Linktree again.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye, guys.